Hello, hello. This is Sir David the Bard. I'm in Pioneer Park here in Salt Lake City. There's about 100 homeless men laying on the lawn with me, and I'm just hiding under one of the sleeping bags. The Danites aren't going to see me any more than the other guys, and we can look over and see the multi-million-dollar Mormon townhouses that were built that nobody's buying because they can look down and see us down here. Anyway, listen. I came across the article. The Mormon Church is changing more. The ever-changing Mormon Church is changing more every day than I have seen in a lifetime. They are desperate. They are totally desperate. They're starting to go under. They know they're going under, and I predicted 2 years ago. That the internet would be the demise of the Mormon Church. Well, it appears that it is. The Mormon.org now is finally allowing you to link to other sites rather than trying to control your every move on Mormon.org. And I've got a nice article here that shows more lies, but, you know, they're trying. They're trying. My father could beat your father up. It's the Salt Lake Tribune, Monday, December 9th, 7:11 p.m. And here's the headline. Oh, wait a minute. I've got my wind machine on. I got to have that for farts. I just do. Anyway, it says, Mormon Church traces black priesthood ban to Brigham Young. Now, those of you that are aware, Brigham Young clearly said, if you marry a black person and mix your blood with them, it's immediate death. Immediate death. And you know that the Mormon Church has said that the blacks were fence sitters, and in the Lamanites, I have 3 Lamanites in my house that if they'd live the gospel, they turn white. Well, my wife's a returned missionary. She's still Filipino brown. So anyway, if you know the history of the church well, and it won't be here, folks. When I'm dead, and the others my age are dead, these issues are dead. They're going to be removed from the Mormon history, and you will not have the truth. Okay, they're saying now in the Mormon Church that the Negroes did not have the priesthood because of Brigham Young, and that Brigham Young was adhering to the racism policies of his culture at the time, that it wasn't revelation. It was man being evil and wicked to man, and the man was Brigham Young. Now, this is interesting. The Mormon Church is trying to backpedal. They're trying to go backwards as quick as they can because, well, because they're a cult, and they're trying to get out of that cult image, and it's very, very difficult. Now, let me tell you something. I was going to look it up, but hell, you can look it up. What am I? The lookup man? Anyway. The Mormon Church said that it was Brigham Young that started the racial slurs and discrimination against the blacks, and said that Cain had a black skin, and it was, quote on this article, disfavor. It wasn't disfavor, it was a commandment that no one was allowed to marry into his lineage. Well, you know, this has gone round and round like eggs in a blender. And you never know where the truth is coming from. Well, let me tell you what the damn truth is. Look it up. Look it up. Joseph Smith had a black, nigger, black, big lips, big nose, kinky hair, servant. And she, I guess, wanted to be a member of the church. And she sat down with Joseph. Maybe they were standing. You know me, the Bard. I make shit up. Maybe they were laying, I don't know. Hanging in a tree, I don't know. But anyway, she confronted Joseph Smith, and she said, I want to be a Mormon. Now, as I remember the story, he said, okay, and he baptized her. So she became a Mormon by baptism. Here's the kicker. He told her that she may be able to go to the celestial kingdom as a Negro, but when she does, she'll be a slave there. she'll be a servant. He used the word servant. She wouldn't be equal to the white people. He said, Joseph Smith said to his black lady servant, you will be a servant in heaven. You will not be equal to the white man. So this article is bullshit again. The Mormon Church is trying to blame Brigham Young on this because most don't know that story about Joseph Smith. I do. It's a well-known story to me, and now it's a well-known story to you. So this is a lie. It didn't start with Brigham Young. It started with Joseph Smith, and Brigham Young just made it more and more heinous. They're just touting how the Mormon Church has backed off of this now. There shouldn't have been any reason for it. It was discrimination, and there's no evidence that any black men were denied the priesthood during Joseph Smith's time, but they could be his servants. But the record clearly shows that in 1852, Brigham Young's immediate successor publicly announced that black Americans' descent would no longer be ordained to the priesthood, though thereafter blacks continued to join the church. There's a few other things in here. Margaret Young, who teaches English at church-owned Brigham Young University, believes that all the Mormons should make a not a galvanized, a copy over at Kinko's of this article and then laminate it. So when people say Mormons hate the blacks, you're supposed to pull out your card and erase 180 years of pain and suffering of people, because the Mormons now say it was a mistake. Hell, we knew it was a mistake 170 years ago, but the Mormons, they're slow learners. They're the little bus people. Okay, she said to laminate your card and keep it in your purse. Let's see. Let's see. Mormons believe that their leaders are in regular communication with God. I don't know. Monson has Jesus for breakfast and coffee. Oh, that's right. Jesus doesn't drink coffee. Hell, he don't eat breakfast either. So if you say Young could make a serious error, he says it brings into question all of the prophet's inspiration. Man, ain't that a true statement? If you deny black people the priesthood for nearly whatever it was, 120 or 30 years, if you were wrong on that, might you be wrong on the temple ceremony? Might you be wrong on the word of wisdom? Might you be wrong on the Book of Mormon? Might you be wrong? Well, yeah, you might be wrong. So anyway, they're saying, but this is part of our maturation as a church. The word maturation usually has to do with human development. Children become maturated at certain ages. Our brains develop, there's puberty, there's old age, there's maturation. So they're saying the Mormon Church is alive and that it's maturating here. Now here's, I'm going to read this because Dedeker, or Udolph said this. Dedeker is his first name. And to be perfectly frank, there have been times when members or leaders in the church have simply made mistakes. First time. I'm 66 years old. The very first time I have ever heard an authority in the Mormon Church say we've made mistakes. There may have been things said or done that were not in harmony with our values, principles, or doctrines. Right. Dedeker Udolph, second counselor in the Faith Governing First President, said in October LDS General Conference, quote, I suppose the church would be perfect only if it was run by perfect beings. But the church constantly teaches the prophets never make a mistake. Never. Their word is from Jesus. Well, God is perfect and his doctrines are pure, but he works through us, his imperfect children, and imperfect people make mistakes. Okay, so let's go over to the next page here. I don't know if there's anything on here you want to hear. Let's see. Oh, God. Okay, the disavowal says that the church and to the world, quote, everything we taught you justifying the restriction of black people is wrong. Is this church changing doctrine, policies, and procedures by the day? In 4 months, you won't even recognize the Mormon church. The garments, will be over at Victoria's Secrets. I might go over and look at them then. The first vision, that's all screwed up too. They're saying Joseph Smith, there's 3 stories of the first vision, and they're 2 or 3 years apart, each one of them. And one time he saw angels, the next time he saw just one man, and the next time he saw 2. So, when, when you're having God appear to you, try to keep the number of how many are in the revelation. Well, there's another piece of shit that they're trying to scrape up off the ground and throw off into the canal. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys look this up. They're lying. It wasn't Brigham Young. It was Joseph Smith telling his maid that she was going to be a servant, a slave in the celestial kingdom. I didn't know they had slaves in the celestial kingdom, but Joseph does. So, the Mormon Church has now said, in an official statement, the prohibition of black people having full fellowship and rights to the priesthood was wrong. Was wrong. Brigham Young made a terrible mistake, and Jesus never corrected it, and all of the prophets down from Brigham Young to Tommy Monson have never corrected it either. So I don't know. I need they drive me crazy. They make this shit up, and the thing about it is a lot of people believe it. They just don't have common sense. They've been brainwashed all these years, and now the Mormon Church says, oh, it was a mistake. So they can be accepted as a Christian religion. Well, they're a cult. They're not a Christian religion. And you're going to see many of these other mistakes. Joseph Smith banging on the 14-year-olds. They've already tried to change the birth dates of those girls to make them look like they were 20, because that was the normal age to be married there in the 1830s. Those of you that said basically young girls were getting married, you're full of shit. 2 or 3 of them out of millions and millions. The average age for marriage for a girl in the 1830s and 40s was about 21, 22 years old. So Joseph, like I said before, has created his own celestial kingdom, and he has his own servants and his own slaves, and they're black. It changes more every damn day. It changes more every damn day. The Mormons cannot defend their policies, their procedures, and their doctrine, and that's why I got out. Thanks.